Sure I'm ready, but it's ready. So to another savory edition of Soup and Meatballs on a Sunday afternoon. Not Saturday like Tim originally thought.
The Sabbath, the Lord's Day, if you will.
Indeed. How was your week?
Good week, good birthday week. So I had some time off of work, and I did very little of value with it.
You did very little of value?
Very little of value. I went to see Toy Story. That was in theaters around here for the 30th anniversary.
Oh, okay. I saw Toy Story with Maria, I think weeks ago, maybe months ago. Would you believe, like, throughout my lifetime, I've only ever seen Toy Story. I've never seen 2 or 3, or if there is a 4. I'm not sure.
There is a 4.
Is there a 4th? Yeah. And she started to watch 2, and I'm like, all right, I'll watch it with you. And it was one of those, like, it gets up against bedtime, so she didn't watch the whole thing, and she never asked to go back to it. So I still haven't seen Toy Story 2. And I know 3 is supposed to be, like, super sad, but I'm in no rush to be super satisfied by a cartoon movie.
Toy Story 2 is the best of them, I think. But they're all pretty good.
And that's the one where it's like the collector guy gets involved, and they have to, like, save somebody from the collector. Is that right?
So, yes. And then Toy Story 2 is also the one where they introduce the female, like the cowgirl, Jessie, with Joan Cusack doing the voice.
Okay. Well, if Maria ever gets into...
if she ever becomes a Joan Cusack completist,
yeah,
you'll have to watch Toy Story 2 and 3.
Well, 2, we're halfway through, but we'll see about 3. 3 has a sad kind of connotation to it, and what's kind of sad is we are the beginning of the NFL season. We're getting into college football, and somehow on Soup and Meatballs, we're not leading off with football. Got to be a pretty big story to stop that, and that's kind of what's going on in Los Angeles right now. Doozy of a situation in LA with Kawhi Leonard and the owner out there. What have we learned this week, Tim? What have you learned?
So I think you had made the comparison to, like, this being something off of The Sopranos, where basically to get around the salary cap, Steve Ballmer offered Kawhi Leonard, what would be called a no-show job for $2 million, rather than have it count toward the salary cap to try to sign him, which they successfully did, to the Clippers, which obviously would be a major violation of, you can't do that. That the salary cap is there for a reason.
Obviously.
This job, seemingly did not exist, but Kawhi Leonard was hired to it just for the salary. And the Clippers look crazy guilty.
I'll tell you what. So I actually did a little bit of research on this because, first of all, a little bit of money turns out to be $28 million. That's not a little bit of money. That's a lot. Steve Ballmer actually went on ESPN and talked to Ramona Shelburne, and he used the word conned. He said he was conned out of $50 million. Now you got to realize this guy's worth what, $150 billion?
Yeah, he's the Microsoft CEO.
Yeah, this company. I don't know what the company's called. They plant trees, right? And they're
welcome
broke.
to Invisicon.
They're broke. They don't have any money. And amazingly, this guy decides to pump $50 million in. Now it gets better / worse if you want to get, pedantic with wording. Pablo Torre comes out on Thursday and says that on a 2022, Leonard is supposed to get one of his quarterly payments, and this company doesn't have any money. And then amazingly, an investment of $2 million shows up, and they're able to pay Kawhi Leonard. Do you know who that money came from?
Steve Ballmer.
Close. Dennis Wong, who is a minority owner of the Clippers, Steve Ballmer's college roommate at Harvard, and it gets even worse than that. Dennis Wong's daughter works, I want to call it Invisalign, but it's not. They're the teeth people.
Yeah.
She works at this tree planting company. So she has to know that they don't have any money. Dennis Wong is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's not being conned here. This is a direct funneling of money for one purpose. It's clear.
You know the situation is shady as hell when your defense is, no, I wasn't trying to skirt the rules. I'm just a really bad businessman. I invested $50 million in a fake company. I'm the victim.
Exactly. And then another step. This just came out. The Toronto Star, is it the Toronto Star? Yeah, the Toronto Star, a newspaper in Toronto, reported back in 2019, Leonard's Uncle Dennis kind of wanted something extra from the Raptors when Kawhi was negotiating. Realized they just come off an NBA championship, and Uncle Dennis asked for ownership in the Toronto Maple Leafs for whatever reason. And they said no, obviously. So then he comes back with, well, how about a $10 million endorsement deal where you guys set something up, but Kawhi doesn't have to do anything? Does that sound familiar? Kind of sounds like a no-show job to me.
Right.
So I don't know if this was if this was Ballmer's idea, or if Uncle Dennis just kept shopping around until he found the deal that they were looking for, and the Clippers said, yeah, sure, we can do that. We got this company that Dennis Wong's daughter works for. They aren't doing anything.
You know, my concern in all this is that the Clippers are going to have to take down all those championship banners.
I don't know what the penalty is, because Adam Silver came out on Wednesday and basically he said essentially it's the NBA's job to prove this. The burden of proof is on the accuser or something. He said something to that effect, which if he's looking for actual proof that, like, Steve Ballmer sent an email to Dennis Wong saying, do this so we can pay Kawhi, I don't think you're going to find that. Yeah. I think the evidence is overwhelming. If we were a court of law, the burden of proof is exceeded, at least in my opinion. And I don't care about the Clippers. I don't care about Kawhi, whatever. Get the man his money. But this looks really bad. I don't know what they can do. I don't know if they can take down banners. It's not the NCAA.
They need to make an example of the Clippers.
Again, didn't the Clippers have this before with their last owner?
Yeah, they have a history of some pretty shady owners. I think that you would have to I think it would negate the contract Kawhi is on. I think he has to become a free agent because he was signed under an illegal contract.
Sure.
And then B, the only penalty that would matter to Steve Ballmer and that would tell other owners not to do this would be a hefty fine and loss of draft picks.
Yeah, the fine would have to be like an impressive fine. I don't know what impressive is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would be reasonable. Like, do you fine him the $28 million they were paying Kawhi under the table?
The largest fine in NBA history is from 2000. The Minnesota Timberwolves were fined $3.5 million trying to secretly go over the salary cap. $3.5 million doesn't seem like a lot of money to somebody worth $150 billion. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a 12th man on the bench.
Yeah.
This to me is on par with what the Astros did. The only difference is the Clippers, it didn't work out for them. They didn't win a title out of it.
Yeah.
But this is a clear violation of the rules.
The NBA, to their, they've hired an outside firm to investigate. I don't know how long the investigation will go. Like I said, if you're looking for cooperation from Ballmer and the Clippers, I don't know if you're going to find it. Aside from what we talked about, the fines, the draft picks, the voiding of the player contract, I've seen videos or posts that will the NBA force Ballmer to sell the team? And again, this is where I think Adam Silver's talk on Wednesday, where the burden of proof is on them. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's almost tired of bad news coming out of LA. But if you think about back in, was it 2019 when Leonard signed, the Eastern Conference was wide open. People were flocking to the West. LeBron was heading to LA.
That was before Giannis won a title, so he was seen as the guy who was, maybe going to become that guy.
The Raptors had they could have had a stranglehold on the East, and all it would have cost him was a $10 million no-show job. That's good. So good on them for saying, no, we understand this is wrong.
And I think making Ballmer sell a team is a punishment that's completely on the table.
Yeah.
To say if you have this clear lack of disrespect for the rules, then you shouldn't be in a position where you're negotiating player contracts.
And I didn't know. Look at him. He looks like a creepy guy. So, I mean,
I don't know. He just looks like a guy your dad would golf with or something.
Oh, my dad doesn't golf. You know what he looks? He looks like the old caretaker in The Shining.
Oh, Mr. Grady.
Grady, that's his name. And I've been seeing a bunch of Shining TikTok videos. I couldn't pull Grady out. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, much like Mr. Grady did with his family, Steve Ballmer's behavior needs to be corrected,
but maybe not in the same way.
No, act to back, or you're too soft on this stuff, NBA. You heard it here first on Soup and Meatballs.
$3.5 million is not going to cut it. Fine was. That's a good transition. Let's talk football now that the bad news
now that
is
the
over.
business is out of the way.
Yeah. So it's Sunday, September 14th. We saw college football yesterday, so we can actually talk about what we saw, or we saw some of it because I was up in Hazleton helping my dad move 2 couches. Oh my God, these couches were heavy. And I was there during the early games. And then I drove back home. I got home around, I would say, halftime of the Georgia-Tennessee game. We had eaten some Alta's pizza. I had 3 slices of Alta's pizza, and I was like conked out. And you had texted it was a fun game, and you're not wrong. I did wake up in time to see the end of it before we went to dinner. I think that might be the game of the week. Did you get to see the whole game?
I did, and I'll tell you what, it has some tough competition for game of the week because that Notre Dame A&M game ended up being super fun too. But yeah, Tennessee really deserved to win that game. They're looking to end the losing streak. It dates back to, I think, 2016. 8 games in a row. And Georgia just, they were down early. They fought back. They stayed in it. I mean, just a great back and forth. Just a classic SEC back and forth.
That the over-the-shoulder catch that London made, that was those are hard to do. Like, yeah. I don't care how good an athlete you are. That is a picture-perfect throw, put where it had to be in the front corner of the end zone. And it was defended well. But then Tennessee goes on this drive, and they get themselves somewhere. He was down around the 20-yard line, and they got a penalty. And I thought, this penalty is going to matter. Watch this. And the kid misses a field goal. And at that point, we traveled to go get dinner, so I was kind of following along on my phone. And I saw that Georgia got a touchdown in overtime.
And all this game of the week talk, it doesn't even consider Clemson getting upset on a 55-yard field goal at the gun.
I saw Clemson. Who were they playing? They said they had a lead, but it was close. Who was Clemson playing against? Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was they're 3-0 this year, so they might be the sleeper team out of the ACC this year.
Clemson was what, 10th, 12th?
12.
Yeah,
12 coming in, and they're now 1-2 after that loss. The opening game loss to LSU. I mean, that's a tough game.
Right.
They only beat Troy by 9. No, they beat Troy by 11.
Well, and I'll tell you what. So, we also, I think, have to adjust our expectations for Notre Dame because a lot of people were making the point.
I think now.
Yeah, 0-2, and they don't play anyone who's ranked or.
Well, not just ranked or anything. They still have tough games. USC is still a tough game. And USC might be ranked by the time they play them. Arkansas is 2-1. I mean, don't sleep on Arkansas. And don't sleep on any SEC team. But after that, they've got Stanford and Navy, Boston College. They have to go to Boston College. That's probably not an easy game for them either. The Pitt as well. So, Yeah, I think that if they go 10-2 or that they win out, not having a conference championship game to get another really good win, that might hurt them. There's 12 teams in the playoffs, though. So 10-2, you never know. They are Notre Dame. They're a brand.
Right. But, a third loss almost certainly has to eliminate them from consideration.
Since they don't have a conference championship to win, yeah.
Yeah.
The other game I saw the highlights of, Penn State absolutely obliterates Villanova. Let's whatever. But I wonder how Pasco feels about that, right? The Penn State fan, Villanova graduate. Anyway, 4 seconds left. If you didn't see this highlight, it's insane.
Oh,
Villanova takes the ball at the 4-yard line. They're going in, the plus 4-yard line. And the quarterback snaps the ball. He's under pressure. He runs back to like the 20. He's going all over the place. He's running towards the line of scrimmage. He throws this across the body pass, just caught by one hand. What an amazing play. And it knocks the betting line.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it was like 52-0.
They were 52 up. They were 48.5-point favorites. And that was the last play of the game. There was like 4 seconds left. Oh, what a bad beat there. That was a great play, though.
Did you see any of Michigan?
No, just highlights. And, obviously, Underwood looked good. You feel good about him after the game against Oklahoma. I wonder who's calling the plays, because this was the first game that Sharon Moore was suspended for. And was it Bill Tucci or –
Yeah, I can't, because they made a point, but I was only sort of half listening because I was expecting a Stromboli I ordered. So I don't know who was calling the plays.
The interim coach basically called Bryce Underwood Batman. But I don't know if the play calling was different. Obviously, the skill from Oklahoma down to Central Michigan, that's a big factor as well. But, you have to feel really good about putting 60 on the board up at home. Defensively, statistically, they were really good. I can't complain about any of that. Next week they have Nebraska, which will be – I imagine it's going to be harder than Central Michigan. But
right. And I'll tell you what, the win over New Mexico looks better now with what New Mexico did to UCLA.
UCLA, that's a weird situation there. And I've been seeing videos about their quarterback, the guy who transferred from Tennessee. There was a whole financial situation there.
Yeah.
They played in front of a crowd that was smaller than that at Berwick, Hazelton, Park Geist, I'm sure.
But, it's still New Mexico to put 35 on UCLA. I think the fact that Michigan handled them, it makes that opening win look a little better.
Sure. And we got to realize that New Mexico team was still a bunch of transfers and coaches from last year's team that took Oregon down to the wire. So I think New Mexico is going to be a pretty good team. The other game that Michigan fans are probably interested in, Ohio State didn't look good against Ohio for a large portion of this game. At some point in the third quarter, the score was 13-9. But they ran a 24-0 run to end the game. I didn't know this, but Ohio State has a freshman running back named Bo Jackson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How about this? Now, Bo Jackson is his real name. Bo is just a nickname. His real name is Lamar Jackson. He's not related to that guy either, though. So, if he's half of Bo and Lamar when they come to Ann Arbor, he'll be somebody that Michigan has to definitely watch out for.
And you make the point about Ohio State struggling. That's why you can't take what Michigan did yesterday for granted. The fact that they did dominate is very reassuring.
Yes.
Because even just because you're supposed to dominate doesn't mean you will dominate.
True. And in that regard, Jake's take number 2, as I was up in Hazelton moving couches, my dad, we had the Alabama game on, and he is so low on Kellen DeBoer. And when they win the game, they beat Wisconsin. I don't know what the score was.
Pretty
38-14. He said this is not going to be good enough for the Bama fans to ease up on Kellen DeBoer. They do have number 6 Georgia in 2 weeks. They have a bye, which is good because they have a lot of injuries all over the place already. But big game for Jake and his Tide in 2 weeks as they take on Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear by now that Alabama's returned back to earth. They're not the Alabama they were 10 years ago.
No, but they're still. I think they're still a very good team. They're capable of making the playoffs, and it's just it's an even playing field now, or evener. So
right, but I don't even know that like with what Florida State did to them in Week 1, I don't even know that Alabama's at the level of like a Georgia or a Tennessee.
No, we'll see in 2 weeks where they're at because they get 2 weeks to prep for it. The PSAC schedule, the PSAC rankings that I looked at today it's weird. Some teams have 3 games, some teams have 1. I don't know. I was able to watch some of the IUP Lock Haven game. You saw some of the Bloomsburg game, and there is a one constant between both of them. And I don't know if these are kids. I think they're probably kids. So it's hard for me to like poo-poo on them. But if you and I were in college and they put you and I in a broadcast booth, I got to think we do better.
Yeah, it's just like just a lack of like football knowledge.
I hate saying this because like these kids are just trying to get experience. It's fine. But I'm watching the IUP game and there's silence. It's radio or it's dead air. I can hear like the professional broadcast in the background. And the guy keeps talking and laying it out, like where the ball is, what the situation is, how much time is on the clock, where we are on the field, what's the score, down and distance, random facts about the guy who just ran the ball. And I don't know if these kids are even interested in football because when they say IUP drops back and he throws to the guy, they said they threw to the guy.
Yeah, you kind of hope that, like, just like maybe the teams themselves aren't playing their best in the early season, they're learning from their mistakes. Hopefully someone's pulling them aside and being like, so that time when there was dead air and you could hear the crackle of the radio for 10 seconds, that's a space you should be filling with words. And
here's the other thing. Take it from a guy who's done this once or twice. Learn the kids' names. If you, especially the home team, the visiting team, it's a different story. But once you're the home team broadcaster, there's 4 or 5 numbers you should have memorized: the quarterback, the running back, 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, and you should have the 2 deep handy with phonetic spellings for anything that you're not familiar with or comfortable with.
Especially for the road team, the home team, you should know these kids. But, I mean, that said, IUP came out in the first half against Lock Haven and played really well. It's the second half against Ashland, they lost that game. The second half against this game, you have a 35-10 lead, and you can't run the football. They had a total of, I wrote this down. Leon Parson is a freshman, and he had the most rushing yards. He had 17.
Yeah, and it's a similar story for BU where
you said that they lost 2 close games.
Yeah, they lost in overtime in Week 1 by a single point when they couldn't convert for 2, and now they lost at Seton Hill by 3 points this week when it seemed like they were in control of things, especially in the first half. So now you're 0-2 with a -4 point differential, and it kind of feels like this BU team has everything it needs to be competitive and just can't shut the door.
Next week, IUP has Millersville at home. You see the standings there on the screen. Millersville comes in 0-2. Who does Bloomsburg have? Do you know?
I don't know, actually.
Guess what? We can rectify that. 2025. Ooh, we can check the ESPN page because they have one. It's home. The good news for them. Edinburgh comes to Bloomsburg, and Edinburgh 1-1. So we'll see where Bloomsburg goes from there. The rest of their schedule: Shippensburg next, Lock Haven next, those are going to be big games because they're Eastern Division games. IUP Millersville should be a win for IUP. We'll see. You never know. That's why you play the game, right? The thing we did know coming into high school football, Chambersburg's in the middle of a tough stretch. McDevitt last week, Harrisburg this week, and Harrisburg didn't come in like super cocky. They came in and they took care of business early. They 49-6 winners. Hazleton Berwick. I didn't know much about Berwick this year. They started 0-4 last year, but they're a different team this year.
Yeah, it's George Curry's grandson, CJ's the coach, and they've turned things around. They look pretty good. They beat a state-ranked team last week, Lackawanna Trail, and now they looked good against Hazleton.
Score-wise, they look great. Hazleton, I was watching along on my phone. Like, oh, cool, Hazleton is a 6-0 lead. That didn't last very long. Berwick came back in about 2 minutes, and it was 7-6. And before you knew it, it was 48-6.
Yeah.
And CJ Curry now his record is 8-7. He's above 500 and up and beyond from here.
Yeah, what did after the big week he had last week? What did Heck have this week? I didn't see a box score.
Neither did I. I actually saw the report on Eastern PA High School. And they didn't have any stats. There was no stats from the Chambersburg-Harrisburg game either. And I was curious to see how many yards passing Harrisburg had because they threw the ball really well. But all of their points, it felt like, came on the ground. Harrisburg has a tackle named Kevin Brown. He's going to Penn State. He's like their big deal. And he is. He when he run blocks, he drives people. It looked like Harrisburg subbed him out a lot. Like he didn't play a ton, and maybe that's because they were up by a lot, and they subbed some of the star players out, but they still had some of their starters in the second half getting reps.
Yeah, it's tough when you're in high school and you're expected to roll. You don't want to, the unwritten rule is if you're going to throw. Like once you're up 21-0, maybe call off the dogs a little bit. Certainly. What's
weird though, I've seen games that the year that Micah Parsons came to Chambersburg with Harrisburg, his senior year, they were kicking onside kicks up 40.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, wow is right. But no, they played it different. They were still running their offense late, and that's whatever. Chambersburg had their starters in. You play the full 4 quarters. But I noticed Brown not out there the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
for whatever reason, maybe he's nursing something that we're up by 20. Go relax a little bit. We'll get you a rep here and there later, but we have an important game against. Harrisburg's already played Bishop McDevitt. They've already played State College. Those are the big games in the regular season. Last year, Cumberland Valley beat them in a really weird game. The other game that Harrisburg lost was LaSalle College, and I think they might be a private school.
Yeah.
And then they lost in the state Final Four to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and they lost to Pittsburgh Central Catholic by 5. It was a close game. So like when you look at the final score, you feel bad. Like, oh man, we lost. This is a state ranked team. This is not a regular average team.
Harrisburg's one of the powers. Like when you talk about like the big schools in Pennsylvania, like the bigger classifications, you're talking, St. Joe's, PCC, Harrisburg.
I looked it up. The last time they lost more than 3 games was 2019, and they still made the state playoffs. Their 4th loss that year was to Central Dauphin in the playoffs. So now they're a good team, and you know who else is a good team, Tim? Green Bay.
Oh,
Green Bay
is pretty good.
I think what we learned on Thursday that Green Bay is not going away. Excuse me. And Jaden Daniels' sophomore season, the jury's still out.
Yeah,
played not as good as ESPN would have wanted him to play.
Yeah, he was under pressure. He was running for his life most of the night. Just no protection, no time to find receivers. Threw for 120 yards, something like that.
I think he threw for 200, but some of them were late.
Yeah, just more than anything, the takeaway is how good Green Bay, particularly on defense, looks. This is now uh, the last two NFC runners up, and they look very ordinary against this Green Bay team.
And I don't even think Micah Parsons is at full speed yet.
No,
So
no. They have enough talent that they can still just kind of work him in as he's getting, still kind of getting into playing shape.
Oh, it's frustrating. Oh, it's as a Bears guy, it's frustrating. And last week we obviously didn't talk about the Vikings game last week because it was Monday Night Football, but I don't know how the Bears let that one slip away. That was a game they needed to win, and McCarthy and the Vikings just had a magical second half, magical fourth quarter, where now, I mean, looking into the Bears week against the Lions, the big happy news, whatever, Ben Johnson coming back to Detroit. But I'll tell you what, if the Bears don't start running the football well, Williams looked great, like 10 for 10 on the first drive. He spread the ball around. I don't think he was pressured as much. The offensive line did pretty well.
But when he was able to get out of the pocket and do things with his legs.
The throw he made to Odunze on the sideline was amazing. But the Bears, just like IUP, Swift only had 53 yards rushing on 17 carries. And, this week against Detroit, last week Darnell Wright, the right tackle, had 0 pressures. 0. This week he goes up against Aiden Hutchinson. So his job gets a little bit tougher. I'd like to think the Bears keep it close. They're 6.5-point dogs on the road. I think Ben Johnson comes back to Chicago 0-2, hoping that Dallas is something that helps him. Eagles, Kansas City, Super Bowl rematch, got to be the game of the week. So if you talk games of the week, it's with one of our teams. What are your thoughts on Kansas City coming in?
It's funny how familiar the Eagles are with a team that's in the other conference, but this is the 5th time now that they'll have played, which is, I think I've read that's a record for conference matchup.
Is it?
Two teams intra-conference to have met 5 times in the last 5 years. They've split the previous 4. This one's in Kansas City. Kansas City's coming off a loss, and a weird loss at that, a Friday night game in Brazil. I know there were a lot of conspiracy theorists who thought the NFL was waiting on the Jalen Carter discipline because they were going to suspend him late in the week. But the Eagles will have him. He's available.
He was fined. The game check was $57,222. And they basically said the suspension was game 1.
Yes.
And his representation and the union, they didn't fight it. So there's okay, take the fine and we'll move on.
Which does set a precedent then that spitting is something that will get you suspended. Because even though he's not going to miss this one.
If you're going to spit on somebody in the first quarter.
Yes. Yeah, do it after the opening kickoff. Be smart with your spit. I think the Eagles are 1.5-point favorites.
Yeah, 1.5 on the road.
So
Xavier Worthy's out for the Chiefs. Which, I mean, this is an interesting situation. Like me personally, the fantasy team that I have, I wanted to draft Xavier Worthy, but the guy drafting before me was the league commissioner, Chris Palermo, and he is going up against the clock, and he was trying to draft, I don't know, somebody, but his clock ran out and it auto drafted for him. And instead of drafting for himself, he drafted for me. And he gave me Travion Henderson from the Patriots. I'm like, whoa, what is this? I don't want Travion Henderson. I wanted Xavier Worthy. And amazingly, the guy drafting after me was on auto draft. He drafted Xavier Worthy. And Chris was like, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I have Tyreek Hill. I'll give you Tyreek Hill for Travion Henderson. Like, I guess that's okay. and Hill didn't have a great week, but he had a better week than Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
And that worked out.
Scary injury for Worthy. Looked like the Chiefs were trying to run little pick play, and instead Travis Kelce just absolutely took Worthy completely out, just running across the field head on at each other.
So I don't know any of the other injuries. I saw that Philadelphia's backup quarterback was hurt.
Yeah, I did see that. And, Landon Dickerson, the left guard for the Eagles, he's been banged up. He got banged up in the preseason. He was having issues with his back against Dallas. So that could be an issue. But
if he's on the interior against Chris Jones. I wanted to call him Jenkins, but it's not Jenkins. I know that. Yeah, Chris Jones. He could be that could be a problem for the running game up the middle.
Yeah, I could see a scenario where if Dickerson's not in there, like Dickerson's a Pro Bowl level guard, and if they have a backup in there, I could see where they go after whoever's going to play on Dickerson's side.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do a brand new segment. You didn't know this was coming, but we're going to call this Tim's Quick Picks. We're going to go every game. Okay. Real quick, just tell me who you got. No spread, no nothing, straight up.
Okay.
Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Who do you got?
Cincinnati.
They're 2-0 on their way to 18-0.
Don't pop that champagne yet, 72 Dolphins.
We have the Giants at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Chicago at Detroit.
Detroit.
Rams at Tennessee.
I'm in a confidence pool, and I took the Rams as my pick this week. So that's the Tim Hare lock of the week.
That's the lock of the week. New England at Miami.
New England. Miami is trash. Mike McDaniels mightn't have a job Monday.
That's you're not wrong.
They already had a players-only meeting.
Who does that after week one?
They had a players-only meeting. They're like, "Can you believe our coach wears capri pants?" Like he's going to be out. Like he won't be here at Halloween, right?
That's good bet to say no. San Francisco at New Orleans.
San Francisco.
Buffalo at the Jets.
Buffalo.
Seattle at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I don't like teams that have to. What's that?
Pittsburgh looked good last week, but so did the Jets, amazingly.
Yeah, the difference is I don't like teams that have to travel across the country.
I'm with you. Cleveland at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Denver at Indianapolis.
Denver.
Carolina is at Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh, that's who's watching that game?
Yeah,
Philly.
That game should just be blacked out in both markets.
Yeah, seriously. Philly at Kansas City.
Tentatively take Philly.
Ooh, Atlanta at Minnesota.
Atlanta.
And the Monday night games, because there's two of them, Tampa is at Houston.
Tampa.
And the Chargers are at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Chargers.
Okay, so there we go. I'll try to go through and see how your record is going into week 3.
And for what it's worth, I would have taken Green Bay at home against Washington.
Well,
easy
for what it's
me
worth.
to say now.
Yeah, well, we'll get your pick on Wednesday for the Thursday night game next week.
All right,
we can track that along. So that's a good solid block of football, and amazingly, there's really good news coming out of baseball. There's the pennant races are somewhat tight, but then you got a team like Philadelphia who's a game away from clinching the East. Their magic number is 1.
They just
Kyle Schwarber just hit home run number 51 yesterday. I haven't seen. I haven't paid attention to Cal Raleigh's only at 53.
Yeah.
Only that. What else is going on?
Otani's getting close. Otani's at like 48 or so.
49. And Judge is at 47. So that's pretty good. We're going to have at least 4 50 home run guys. Gene Suarez is at 45. Yeah, who knows?
He gets hot over the last 2 weeks.
That looks like Juan Soto just hit number 40. for the Mets. They're not worried about home runs, though. They're worried about trying to hold on to their playoff spot.
I had texted you earlier this week making the point that when I texted you, I believe there were only 6 players hitting 300 in all of Major League Baseball, and we might have 5 who hit 50 home runs.
Yeah.
Sign of the times.
The overall league batting average, I haven't tracked this lately, but what I do, and I don't know if this is right or not, I just take all the players who are eligible, copy their batting averages into Excel, and just average. The last time I did that, the league average was 241. So if you're hitting 242 or better, you're above league average. George Springer and Jeremy Pena hitting 299. They're right on the cusp.
Like,
what's the all-time low? Do you know the all-time low for 300 hitters in a season?
I want to say like 67 or 68, like right around the year of the pitcher. Yastrzemski might have won the American League batting race at like 302.
Okay.
And I mean, Judge is leading all of baseball. He's hitting about 320.
325. Yeah, and that's, I mean, there was times in June where he was hitting like 380, 390. It tells you what kind of slump he's been in.
We were talking about, was he going to make a run at 400?
When is it legitimate, like the media can talk about it? He's not that kind of hitter, though. I think the guy who's hitting 2, Jacob Wilson with the Athletics, I would think the guy in Kansas City, Bobby Witt, they would have better shots at it because they're not like big, bulky power guys.
Yeah, they're contact guys. Witt he had like 220 hits last year.
Yeah, he's
just a good contact hitter, good speed. So you can
down
beat
this
infield singles. I
mean, he's still top 10, top 15 in WAR, wins above replacement. But as far as batting average goes, he's 280, 291.
50 points above the league average, you know.
Yeah, he's well above league average. If you look at the playoff race, though, it's weird to see Houston in the wild card because Seattle has now tied them 81 and 68 across the board. The Rangers are 2 games out. The American League West is like a ton of fun. All 3 of those teams on winning streaks this weekend. Texas is 2 games out of the playoffs as it currently stands. The Cleveland Guardians 3.5 games out. So the last 2 weeks are wide open. Out in the National League, the Mets lead is a half a game. And I mean, the Schadenfreude in me, I would love to see either the Reds or the Giants or the Diamondbacks, or all 3 of them, whatever, knock the Mets out of the playoffs. Because
the meltdown would be delicious. You know, I mean, what are they now? Are they like 12 back of the Phillies in the East?
I think they're 11 back. Like I said, the Phillies' magic number is 1. They're 13 back. That is the largest spread in all of Major League Baseball. But, you know, the Phillies have been on a crazy tear, and the Mets are 1-9 in their last 10. They're on an 8-game losing streak. And who do the Mets finish up here? Who do the Mets have today? Another game with the Rangers, who are fighting for their playoff lives. So that's going to be a good game. And then the Mets travel to San Diego. It's going to be easier there.
And San Diego is playing for a lot because they're battling with the Dodgers for the West.
And then their last 3 series is the Nationals and Marlins. They get 6 games there. They really need to win all 6 of those.
Yeah,
to feel safe, because then they have 3 games in Wrigley playing the Cubs, who are currently where are you in the wild card race, Chicago? You are the number 1 seed, 3 games ahead of the Padres for that number 1 seed in the wild card.
Remember when everyone thought the Dodgers were just going to run away with everything, and they're going to win 110 games?
110? I think there was talk of 120.
Like Vegas was setting the over under for their wins at like 105.5 or 106.5.
People who bet the under are smart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are 1, 2, 3. There's 4 teams in Major League Baseball that have fewer losses than the Dodgers. And if you had the Milwaukee Brewers as one of those 4 preseason, if you had the Toronto Blue Jays as one of those teams in the preseason, that's where we are, though.
Honestly, the NL West and the AL East are the 2 most fun divisions as September's winding down.
Well, I mean, for you and I, the AL East is big, primarily because of our rooting interest. But I'm telling you, the National League West is going to come down to it. That's going to be fun as well. Yankees and Red Sox finishing up their season series up in Fenway. And I knew I talked about this in the past. The future for the Yankees, the Orioles series, the White Sox, the Twins, those are games they should win. And playoff wise, I mean, right now the Yankees are 2.5 up on the Red Sox for the number 1 wild card spot, and they're 4.5 games up on Texas for a playoff spot. Period. So they haven't clinched anything by any stretch of the imagination, but coming into Boston, coming out of that Detroit series, oh my gosh, their bullpen was so bad. How bad was it? I actually I put a formula together to calculate the ERA. But then I did the numbers. In 9 innings, the Yankee bullpen gave up 21 runs. I didn't need the formula for that. It's 21 ERA. That's bad.
Yeah.
If you took out game 3, because the bullpen actually they only gave up 2 runs in game 3. If you take that out, in games 1 and 2, their ERA was 28.5.
But I'll tell you what, the Yankees
pitched well against Boston now.
The Yankees still could conceivably win the East.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Toronto finishes up. I don't know their schedule, so that's where our producer comes in. They have Baltimore, and Baltimore's actually took the series now. They've taken the first 2 against Toronto, so maybe what I said before doesn't fly. The Blue Jays finish. They've got 7 games with the Rays. They've got 3 games with the Royals, and they've got 3 games with the Red Sox. So Boston can help New York out a little bit.
So now, if the season ended today, Toronto wins the East, Detroit wins the Central, Seattle and Houston are tied in the West?
Yeah, I don't know the tie. Right now they have Seattle over top of Houston. I don't know why. So let's just say Seattle wins the West.
Okay, and then we're looking at Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, wild card.
Yes.
How far out is Kansas City from the wild card?
7. They're out.
Okay.
Yeah, forget that.
I didn't know.
Cleveland needs a lot of help. They're out 3.5. I mean, Texas is still. I think Texas is still in it primarily because I think they play Houston near the end. Yeah, they still have 3 games with Houston. I mean, you have to win that series, obviously. But then they finish the year with Miami and Minnesota, and they play at Cleveland. So that at Cleveland could be big. But I knew they were playing Houston as well, so they can work their way back into it. Whereas I don't think who was the other team we were talking about here? Okay, Kansas City. They have.
And then in the National League, we're looking at Philly, Milwaukee, and LA's up right now in the West.
Yeah, they're up 2.5.
And then the Padres, the Mets, and the Cubs. And the Reds are trying to fight their way in.
The Cubs are the number 1 wild card. The Padres number 2, and the Reds are a game and a half out. The Giants are a half game out of the Mets.
That's fun.
So I mean, the Giants finished their year. The Giants are currently at the Dodgers right now. They've got 4 more with the Dodgers, but then they finished their year. The last 6: St. Louis, and Colorado. So, I mean, St. Louis is down. Colorado is Colorado.
I haven't looked in a while. What's Colorado's record?
41-108.
Nice.
They will not win 50 games this year.
So they still have what? Another 13 games? Say they go 3-10. So they finish with 118 losses.
100. Yeah. What's the all-time record?
Like 122.
Yeah. So then that's safe.
Because there was that Tigers team back in the early 2000s that lost.
When they got Verlander the next year.
Huh. That's fun.
So, I mean, Boston finishes, I mean, after this Yankee series, like I said, they have Toronto, but you have 3 against the Athletics, you have 3 against Tampa, and you have 3 against Detroit. So, I mean, Tampa and Detroit are both, I mean, Tampa's out of it playoff-wise, but they're pesky.
They're feisty. Yeah.
But the Toronto series is going to be big for you. Before the year, Pacoda said you were going to win 79 games and you weren't going to make the playoffs. Well, you've already gotten 81, and I put you in the playoffs preseason.
I was the one who said I thought like 500 was about right. I didn't see the playoffs, so, and certainly not after the Devers deal. I was like, well, they've given up the ship.
How has Devers done in San Francisco?
He's got like 35 homers.
Because I honestly haven't paid a lot of attention to National League Baseball the last couple of weeks. Where are you, Raffy Devers? So for the season, 31 homers, 102 runs batted in. He's hitting above league average, so 258.
What's his on base?
Now you're asking a lot. They don't have that readily available on the. I can tell you his on base plus slugging is 860.
Okay, so pretty good.
Come on, stats work. Okay, so his on base percentage this year currently is at 378, which is above his career average.
Yeah. So definitely a worthwhile trade for San Francisco, especially if they kind of finagle their way into that last wild card spot.
If they can get into the playoffs, that will be if that's the trade that does it, I would love the fact that Boston kept a New York team out of the playoffs. The other one's done. So, all right, here we go. Quick hitter time, and we got 5 of them. One of them you're going to need a pen for, so we'll do that one last. Quick hitter number 1, Archie Manning scuffled through another shaky performance in Texas's victory over UTEP. At one point, Manning and the Texas offense was booed at home. Tim, I'm all for booing professional athletes when they screw up, but where do you stand on booing college kids? And as I wrote this, I had to look it up. Manning is earning $6.8 million through NIL, so maybe I'm more okay with this than I thought.
I think as a home crowd, I think it's a bad look to boo your – unless it's like they do something like that's not football related. Like if they –
Unless Manning spits on somebody?
What's that? Yeah, spitting
Unless
on someone or – yeah. If they do like some kind of like stupid extracurricular stuff, I think that's boo-worthy. But just to boo a college kid who's not playing up to what you expect of him, I think it's a bad look.
I'm with you. Number 2, Terrence Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez, if I can speak. Terrence Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision, becomes the new undisputed super middleweight champion Saturday night. With the win, Crawford goes to 42-0, and he becomes the first male boxer in the 4-belt era to be the undisputed champ in 3 different weight classes. Tim, is that a big deal?
No, because fighting, not just boxing, it's so fractured between all the different divisions, and not everyone who's an elite boxer is going to go into boxing with the way that MMA's made inroads in combat sports. So I think it's a lesser achievement.
Gotcha. I just want to know if his championship is so undisputed, what's all the fighting about?
Yeah, it seems like there are a lot of disputes.
Number 3, So I was searching through a Would You Rather page to try to mix things up a little bit. And I found one that, kind of fits you a little bit. Would you rather write a book or direct a movie?
Direct a movie.
What kind of movie would you direct?
Like a super pretentious prestige drama. Total Oscar bait.
Not one that, based on a book that you've written.
No, I want to wear a tuxedo to the Oscars.
I've always said that if I was a big time actor, I don't like award shows to the point where I think I would show up in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
You'd Sandler it.
Yeah.
Just a hoodie and some basketball shorts.
I don't know, though, if I'd have the guts to go through with it, because I think, like, Jen would want to come with me and she'd want to dress up. So, I don't know.
Yeah. If she's going the glamour route, I think you have to go the glamour route.
Yeah, and she'd do it a lot better than I would, so I'd be in trouble.
I texted it earlier this week, but I want it out there. Happy belated birthday to Mrs. Meatballs.
Indeed. And speaking, that leads us right into number 4. You had a birthday last week. Do you feel older?
Yes. Not just like physically every morning. Like every morning is just a new hellscape. But also, celebrating my birthday by going to see the 30th anniversary screening of Toy Story made me feel about like 1,000 years old.
Well, I mean, there's that. So we've gotten to the point. I want you to feel young now.
Okay.
I want you to write these numbers down or memorize them if you can. The numbers are 8, 10, 12, and 24.
Okay.
So 8, 10, 12, and 24. I saw this on a TikTok video, and I thought, man, wait till Tim gets a load of this. So what you're going to do is you have to choose one of the things I'm about to tell you to go along with those numbers. And those numbers are the hours that you have to do each of these things for.
Okay.
So you have a 24-hour block to complete it. So 8, 10, 12, 24. So okay. It's kind of like the ranking roulette type of thing. So
okay.
You don't know what's coming next. So number 1, you have to assign a number of hours to you constantly listening to the song Barbie Girl.
8.
You're going to 8. Oh my gosh.
As opposed to 24 hours of Barbie Girl?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you adjust your ratings after you hear all 4 of them.
Okay. Like, is one of them going to be like getting waterboarded or something?
No. Oh, well, I don't know. So number 2 is the number of New York slices of pizza that you have to eat. And I'm not talking about like a little pansy type. I mean like a New York slice of pizza.
Okay.
So you're at 10, 12, and 24. Now, this is at your athletic peak. I mean, right now, I don't think it's fair, but that's why I said, like, feel younger at this point. So you're like 20, 21.
I feel like I could eat 12 if I had to.
12 if you had to. Okay. Number 3 is a number of shots of Jack Daniels.
Oh, God. I'll just go 10.
You're going to go 10 there, which means...
I'm going to pray.
Well, excuse me. The final one was number of punches to take from WBC heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk.
Yeah,
That's 24 now.
After the 10 shots, I'll take 24 punches to the face and just finish me off. So,
well, when they said this, the video I saw it was punches from Jake Paul. And I'm like, who's the heavyweight champion of the world? That's who I want to see. But it didn't specifically say in the face. So like, if I were doing this, like I'd be like, yeah, punch my arm, punch my thigh, a couple in the rear end.
Yeah, give me a monkey bubble, like for the forearm.
Yeah. There you go. So those are our quick hitters. A abbreviated quick hitter up in Hazleton. I found this, and you're like, who are you, Joe Namath? Part of this, like I had some stuff in the back. Check this out: an old map of Hazleton remember the words Donnelly Directory?
Oh my God, yeah, it was the Hydrox cookie of Yellow Pages.
Yeah. And I actually have, you're never going to see this because of the lighting. Like if I kill the light, I don't know if it'll work, but I have a key
Okay.
written. It's like I have marked where the body shop is, where Hazleton Area High School is, where the Pantry Quick on Diamond Avenue is. Like I thought it was important to label where that was.
Why that Pantry Quick specifically?
I don't know. I also have it written down that the South Beltway, which is now, was it 427, is 6.5 miles long.
424, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I have that. I have written down where Babe Ruth Field is, Hazleton Area High School, Harmon Guy Stadium, Orlowski's, Rigotti's house, your house, Mount Laurel Pool. It's just I thought that was interesting.
A little window into the mind of 16-year-old Max Gemelli.
Whatever that was. And then, dude, I found a phone tree from the 1991 and 1993 Unico baseball team when I was in junior Babe Ruth. I don't know what happened to the 92 roster. Maybe we didn't get one. But some of the kids on the 1993 team, this is not a number one, it's a letter I. The city champion Unico baseball team, AJ Doritas, Keith Greshko, myself, Jason Scarcella. I couldn't picture. I don't know who that kid is. Jeff Zola, Mike Barron, Eric Demuse, Dave Latoff, Vito Lagudic, Jed Panko, Matt Temchatin, Jimmy Doria, who's labeled as James Doria here, Kevin Lindemuth, Matthew McBride, and Joe Stasko.
Kevin Lindemuth was a Little League teammate of mine.
Was he? Okay,
yeah.
well,
real live arm, but not so much on the control when we were like 10 or 11. Like he could fire it, but you just didn't know where it was going.
And the 91 team, Kapish, I thought Capper was a teammate of mine. So yeah, Tony Kapuscinski was 15 when I was 13. And some other names you might know. Nicky Anton was on my team. He played football with us. I don't know if you remember Mike Vetter. He was a really good athlete, but he was a smart ass. And Sam Lassant Jr.
Sammy Lassant Jr.
I had no idea that Jr. was a teammate of mine. And then the last thing that I found that I will share, a graffiti style Jambo.
Oh my God.
That's good stuff, man. Along with some really, really weird and random phone numbers. Some of the stuff I wrote down in here, like the payphone on Broad Street, the 800 number for Cool Whip, Coke, Levi jeans, Purex detergent, and this one I kind of want to call right now, so we might. The viewer advisory hotline for ABC.
Let's call it.
What do you want to tell the people who answer the phone about the viewer advisory on ABC? Can we complain about something?
Yeah, complain that there's not enough nudity.
I'll see. 6 ABC. So, and I don't know if you're going to be able to hear them because I got the microphone. I'll put it on speaker.
You have reached Pensis & Mullins Law Firm. If you are calling about
Can you hear this?
A law firm.
If you are an existing client, please press 2.
Do they know about the Randy Savage weightlifting equipment?
This is under 30 days old. Please press 1. If your call is free and confidential, your call will be recorded and monitored.
That's all I needed to hear. They are whatever law firm is the old viewer advisory hotline, according to me.
So sorry, anyone who has issue with the content on ABC. Guess we got a new way to complain.
But then, well, check this out, man. At the beginning, I have phone numbers for Boardwalk Boulevard. Why did I write this? The Young Men's Polo Association, YMPA. Like I have the phone number for the Key Club. My grandfather would have went there, but yeah. Dr. J's Ice Cream. You remember Dr. J's?
Sure, unpopular.
KRZ, which I don't know why I wrote it down because I still have it memorized. Wish 98.
Magic 93. Do you have Magic 93 so you could call Fran Pantuso at London?
Fran Pantuso. And then an entire page of pizza. Andres, B&R, Casamia, Domino's, Januzzi's, King's, Dino's, Mario. There's a Mario's Pizza. Celeste's, Pasquale's, Checkers, and Vesuvio's. Speaking of Mario's, I have to send you a picture. We were at Mario's last night because that's what we do. And I noticed outside they had like one of those signs, the backlit signs.
Yeah.
Well, they had it on the ground by their restaurant. And I asked the kid, I'm like, what happened there? And like, oh, they made a mistake on it. There was a color that was wrong. I'm like, oh man, if I could take that, I'd put it in my classroom. And the owner's like, you want it? Take it. I took their sign.
Oh.
I have to clean it up a little bit, but I'm going to put it in my classroom. I'll send you a picture. It'll be the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever done in my classroom. But
that's pretty cool.
Cool stuff. And then it was born out of the Joe Namath book, which I mean, it's not all girls. There's some girls in here, but like, let's see here. If you can remember, whose phone number ended with 8846?
884. Was that Simon?
No.
I don't know.
It was your neighbor.
Oh, Alex.
Yeah. Simon would have been 6186. How about, Jeff? Remember Jeff Petch?
Sure.
His phone number ended with 6699. Nice. That's your quick hitters for the week, folks. And we have a fun draft today. What's our draft today, Tim?
We are, after much debate, we're drafting our favorite pro wrestling finishing moves.
Yeah. I think on Friday, I sent you a text like, we need a draft. Let's do something with wrestling, something. And you said, let's look at finishing moves. So I'm not sure how you ranked yours. I ranked mine simply by my favorites.
Same here.
Okay.
And mine, there's a heavy bias toward the 80s and 90s.
Well, sure.
Nothing too modern. So anyone who's going to be like, no one's done that move since 1995. Yeah, that's about when I stopped watching wrestling.
That's the point. Yeah, I think the 15 viewers we have are largely our age. So, number and color.
3 black.
1, 2, and the third card is the Treaty of Paris. I don't know if we've seen this before. The treaty was signed in Paris on September 3rd, 1783 by representatives of Britain's King George III and representatives of the United States of America. It ended the American Revolutionary War. So the end of the war is the 3 of clubs, and that is a first pick for Mr. Soup.
All right.
So where are you going with the first pick?
I think we are of similar mind on the first pick. I want the stunner. I want the Stone Cold Stunner.
Wow. Okay. This was one of the things that I could actually do, and I have done many times.
It's fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to sell. It's fun watching a guy like someone like The Rock or Razor Ramon who is really good at selling the stunner. Yeah.
The sell part of it is the key. If you ever watch a video on the etymology of this move, I think it was Michael Hayes that came up with it, and it works really well, and it's relatively it's safe. We'll put it that way. You can still screw it up if you want, and actually hold the guy's head as tight as you can and drag his throat onto your shoulder. The selling part of it, though, what you said was some of the people oversold the heck out of it, and I don't know how, because they would go down to their knees, then stand up, and then do like a backflip outside the ring.
No one sold it like The Rock.
He did some silly ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, if you're Stone Cold actually doing the move and then seeing the sell, how you don't just start laughing.
I know. Yeah, it's just I think if you were to rank, like if you were to ask like 1,000 wrestling fans to rank the best finishing move, I think the stunner would be the most common number one choice.
Probably. That it made my list. It was not my number one though.
Okay.
My number one is simply because of how I saw it at WrestleMania 5. I'm telling you, Randy Savage was in the air for 20 seconds. He just floated before he fell down onto Hogan. And the fact that Hogan no-sold it twice or a bunch of times, it just bugs me. The flying elbow off the top rope is something I can't do safely, but something that he did, 1,000 times a year. I will take the flying elbow and feel good about it.
That was on my list. There's just something about when the big pay-per-views when you'd see Savage get on the turnbuckle and he'd be midair and you'd see all the flash bulbs going. I think we've all imitated hitting the elbow, hitting our own elbow before we, just simple, but awesome.
It was showy. The move itself is probably easy to say, take the hip bump or whatever. Not hitting somebody in the face with your elbow when you can't really, you have to gauge how hard you jump or where you go. He just got so much air. You could go back and watch the WrestleMania 5 finish. Just have to watch the last 2 minutes of it. And Randy Savage's flying elbow on Hogan, he floated. Oh, it was amazing. So
yeah, the hang time really was, because Savage had that rare ability where he was still a big guy. He was, very muscular, but he could do high flying stuff off the ropes like a smaller guy.
Yeah. Where are you going number 2?
For my number 2 pick, this is another one where it's a fun move that as a kid you're like, that's something I can do. And I can think of at least one sleepover that was cut short by someone who took this move and hit their head on a concrete floor. It's the DDT.
Absolutely. Oh no, that was on my list. Again, just because it's so quick. But somebody asked Jake Roberts if he was upset that the DDT kind of became not no longer a finisher, but it was just a power move. And he said, no, because I'm not the one giving it. If it was me, it'd be a finisher. I don't know if he was the one who invented it, but yeah, his snap DDT was, because it came and it was hard. Mankind kind of did one where he underhooked your arm, but he held you there for a second and then he delivered it. Jake, unless he was doing the jobbers, he got you and he went.
Yeah, it was so smooth, how, especially if he was running in to get someone like Rick Rude, he wasn't involved in the match, but he would just slide it under the ropes, hit him, and then just boom, just DDT and done.
It was very Snake-like. It fit his character really well. That the quick strike that he would hit you with, and it is kind of sad that it devolved into what it was. I think it's Randy Orton now who evolved the DDT into where he has the guy's legs up on the second rope, and then he DDTs you. That's
sounds like a cool enough variation, I guess.
It is. Well, I will take my number 3, I suppose, because I think you need a submission move, and this is a cool move that again, you've done it in the backyard, and allegedly, if you turn it over, it hurts the guy putting it on. I will take the figure 4 leg lock in any of its variations, probably most famous by Ric Flair, but Greg Valentine when he had the shin guard. Do you remember he used to wear the catcher's shin guard?
Yeah.
He would turn it around because that put extra pressure on.
I wonder if the league office got a good look at that shin guard. It doesn't seem regulation.
It certainly wasn't, but it added to the spectacle. But Flair's figure 4 was probably the most famous.
Yeah, the figure 4 was on my list as well. I still know how to apply one.
Yeah.
I learned when I was maybe 9 or 10. And it's funny because you think about wrestling moves as being like all acting, but if you really do that to someone, it really hurts.
Oh yeah, because you're bending your knee the wrong way. That's
Right, and if you're doing it right, you're bending like their ankle bone into their shin bone.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
So be careful with that, kids, if you're messing around at home.
And by the way, I've never seen the figure 4 reversed, but it seems like it would be like some version of another move that's on my list that I won't get to quite yet. I'm gonna go. You talk about submission moves. There's another one where I think every kid tried this, and probably at least once choked out one of their friends, giving $1 million dream.
Yeah, the $1 million dream. So that is a variation of Sergeant Slaughter's Cobra Clutch, and I never understood what the mechanics were. Like, it was just a chokehold, but what are you doing with the other arm, like pinning it in?
Yeah, but it just looked cool when DiBiase would slap it on, and then you get the extra. You get the extra theatricality of the $100 bills stuffed in the mouth.
Oh, we could have a whole list of post-match embarrassments. Like, I wonder if the jobber got to keep the $100, or if they had to give it back.
I bet it was almost certainly fake money,
like Hollywood style. Yeah, you never know.
Probably the biggest indignity was getting your hair cut by Beefcake.
That was, well, I mean, you probably got paid extra for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, instead of getting the $50, maybe you got $75.
Yeah, I mean, that would even affect like your look for like future bookings.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get a guy who's maybe looks like me, who spends 5-6 months growing his hair out, and then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it would. But if you're those kind of independent wrestlers, that look really didn't matter too much, I don't think. My number 3 is now we're going to get into we'll talk dangerous, that you couldn't do this at home, probably because you weren't strong enough. And when I saw this guy do this, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, that is so intense. I'm going to take the Razor's Edge.
Razor's Edge was on my list.
I was like, oh, dude. So he would pick you up and then hoist you with his arms. He did a military press of your body weight before he dropped you on the ground. Wow. And those are the kind of moves that, like, he wasn't going to pull out against, like a big heavyweight guy, like a big boss man or Tugboat or Akeem. Like, you couldn't do that to them.
Right.
But little jobber guy, oh, he was taking it. He was taking it hard.
I believe I've told you the story about when I, at a drama club practice, did a Razor's Edge. And the girl who I was doing the Razor's Edge to, her shirt came up.
Oh, yeah, because that's the worst of it, huh?
Well, I didn't, like, drop her on her head, Razor's Edge. I was just like, oh, I bet I can get you, like, above my head.
Gotcha. I was out here squatting Justin Gatz, and you're Razor catching the girls in the cast. Way to go!
That sounds like a really problematic show when we say it like that. You're squatting kids. I'm giving a Razor's Edge to the female cast members.
That's how the Hazelton Drama Club worked back in 1996.
So I've got a lot of ways I can go with my number 4. I think I want to at least have one tag team on here.
Okay.
And so I'm going with the Legion of Doom clothesline.
So I have some tag team stuff. Whatever that was called, the decapitation device, or it should be called the Death Jobber. That has to be.
Was it called the Doomsday or something like that?
Doomsday device, maybe. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that has to be the most dangerous one.
Yeah, to put someone on your shoulders and have the other guy do a flying clothesline off the turnbuckle.
But it's so Animal was the guy that had him on his shoulders, and I would have to ask. We had him on months ago. I'd have to ask John, what's the physics behind the clothesline is doing most of the work, I'd imagine, but Animal was doing like a press that did the flip. The acrobatics needed to not land on your head, directly on your head. That's where the danger comes into me.
And as a kid, look, Demolition, their end move was pretty cool, but just for all the reasons you just said, it felt like Legion of Doom took it to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, next level, like scary stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. I will go with my favorite tag team finishing move. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it had a name, but Power and Glory did so Hercules would superplex a guy off the top rope, and then Paul Roma would jump off another top rope and do a splash. And the superplex and the flying chest press or whatever
the
you
body
call it,
splash, yeah,
almost happened at the same time. It wasn't like superplex, wait 2 seconds, flying splash. They were all airborne at the same time. That timing was incredible.
Yeah.
And that's something that Jeff Matwicha and I used to try to do in his basement when we were wrestling pillows. He would do the superplex, I would do the flying body splash.
It's amazing.
Power and Glory back in the day.
Obviously, we tried all of these.
I never tried Razor's Edge. You did.
Yes. It's amazing that more of us weren't seriously hurt.
Amazing, yeah. I think the worst injury outside of the DDT that we saw was my ceiling.
Yeah, at the Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble. That didn't work out really well.
The aforementioned Jeff Petch was going off the couch, and
I forget what he yelled. He's like, "I'm Hulk Hogan" or something. And
so I have a lot of ways I can go with number 5. I'll list some of my others when we're done, but I think for my number 5, it's as much admiration for the guy who was doing it and like how good he was at selling like the heel role as it is for the move itself, and it's the Rude Awakening.
Oh man, that was I thought about that, and I think I shied away from. I didn't put the LOD move down. I didn't put this move down. Again, because of the risk that you run if the guy doesn't take it properly, he could legitimately get hurt. Yeah, as Rude brought him down on his neck. The selling of it, if you did it right, it looked super intense. And the aftermath of the shaking was,
just one of the great heel personas in all of wrestling. The Ravishing Rick Rude.
It's a bummer he didn't get a world heavyweight title run in the WWF. He won the world heavyweight title in WCW, but yeah, he could have been a main event guy
because he was so great in the ring, just like throwing his body around. He was so great on the mic. You talk about heat. He was, immediately coming out and insulting everyone in the arena. I want all you fat, disgusting,
out of shape,
the city sweat hogs.
Bloomsburg.
And then they would cut to like someone in the crowd would be like, "Boo! I'm not fat and out of shape. I'm not a sweat hog."
If you look at some of the old highlights, it's the guys booing, but then you see the women with their 1980s giant hair and their big glasses.
Yeah, the Aquanet perm.
They're all about it though. And I wonder where after the match with the Jobber, Heenan would be like, "Okay, ladies, you come up here and get a kiss from Rick Rude."
Yeah.
I wonder where those women came from. Because now you think, well, there's plants that act as part of the show. I wonder if they were plants. I kind of hope they were, but if they weren't, that's even funnier.
Yeah, I can see a scenario, especially given the time, where they're just like, "Would you play along with this?" And like, if someone would be like, "No," they'd be like, "No, we get it. That's fine." But yeah, it was definitely. Even as a kid, I realized how ridiculous it was that he'd kiss these women until they passed out.
They passed out. That's the best.
And they'd just leave her lying there in the ring, and he'd be swiveling his hips.
And he left. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know who told her, "Okay, Okay, Sally, it's time to get out of the ring now. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, well, my number 5. I have a lot of choices, and I'm gonna settle on this one. He was the last person allowed to do this kind of move, and it was because the front office trusted him enough. And Hulk Hogan came out and said, "Oh man, you got me, brother. You hurt me." And when they went back and looked at the tape, no, he didn't, because he took a 300-pound man and pile drove him safely. I'm going to take the Undertaker Tombstone, which is a front version of a pile driver, where instead of falling backwards, he fell frontwards. I remember the first time I saw it, it was like, whoa, that's scary.
And it was super cool, like, putting the hands over the chest and not even pinning him, just like just putting like a foot on him or a hand on him, because you knew like no one was getting up from the tombstone.
Yeah. So Tombstone's my number 5. I had a bunch of others that, I mean, they fit with their characters. What others did you come up with?
So along the same lines as the Savage elbow drop, the Jimmy Snuka. You talk about a guy going off the top rope and getting air. I alluded to it earlier when we said about reversing a figure 4, the sharpshooter. This one was more for the theater, but just the theater behind the sweet chin music was always fun. And then you talk about another guy who was a great heel, and this is just a really cool move, the shake, rattle, and roll by the Honky Tonk Man.
That's as we were talking about Rick Rude, a Honky Tonk Man popped into my head, because that move, there was nothing to it. It was all theater. There was no neck breaker in there.
Right.
But I think that whole character was so corny and gimmicky that worked well for him. The stuff I had, the extra stuff, I had the demolition decapitation on mine. I had the Scorpion Deathlock, not the sharpshooter. When Sting put it on, I think he applied it differently. The step over was different. I don't know. I put the sleeper hold from Brutus Beefcake, because again, the aftermath, you got your hair cut.
And cool, the pop you'd get from the crowd when he'd send the guy off the ropes, and then when he'd apply it, and people would just lose their minds. Yeah.
And then another thing that the fans lose their mind for is because this move could come out of nowhere. And it's a newer guy. He's old now, but Randy Orton's RKO it's a variant of the Stone Cold Stunner, but some of the situations that the guys get in that he hits this move on it's really amazing choreography to me. So those were mine. I think it's a good list, I think, for both of us.
Not making my list was the Hacksaw Jim Duggan 3-point stance clothesline.
If we drafted the worst finishing moves,
the leg drop.
Yeah, I think the leg drop's number 1, but the hacksaw one is bad.
The bushwhackers.
It was like a running.
Yeah, like the battering ram headbutt.
So, do you remember the Fabulous Rougeau brothers?
Of course, Jacques and Raymond.
So, I mean, their finishing move was very similar to the Legion of Dooms, except instead of getting they'd get you up on the shoulders. Instead of a clothesline, you had to take. I don't know how to say this professionally. The guy would hit you with his legs like this, and you'd get a crotch shot, which I think has to be a little bit more dangerous than what Hawk and Animal were doing.
Yeah, certainly a provocative twist on an old classic.
It is. So there you go. The best professional wrestling finishing moves of our lifetime, I suppose. There's some new ones out there now. Finishing moves aren't the same now. Like, people are getting false finishes. That used to be you hit a finisher, it was over. Now you have to hit like 10 of them.
Yeah, I just can't get into modern wrestling.
I'm busy watching other stuff right now.
Yeah.
So top 5 time, top 5 for the week. And this was an interesting question you sent me through text yesterday. And I said that this would require actually a little bit of thought. So we decided we were going to make this our top 5 question. If we were blue chip high school athletes, blue chip football players, and for whatever reason we couldn't go to Michigan, whatever reason that is, where would we go? And I thought to myself, yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. So number one, are we talking today, or are we talking when we were in high school? Because today that changes things.
I would say just talking today.
Okay, so my number one school would, sadly, probably be driven by NIL money. Again, I'm a 5-star running back or whatever, so maybe it also depends on position. If I am a running back, yeah, money at college matters a lot more because I think I have a shorter lifespan in the pros if I'm trying to get there. If I'm a defensive back or a quarterback, then it fluctuates. So, I mean, I have a list, and I don't know if they're ranked or whatever, but I'll give you like number 5 on my list. I said Penn State. Based on, I assume I still live in Pennsylvania, so the proximity to home is big. It's important. My family can come see me. They have a rabid fan base. They have a giant stadium. The facilities they have, from what I've seen on video, super impressive. And they're going to be contenders for the playoffs, regardless of their head coach. He's bound to win a big game eventually. Maybe I'm the one who helps him do it.
And, Franklin has a reputation as being a player's coach.
Yeah.
A guy that you love to play for. I had considered Penn State, but they did not make my list. So when I was considering, I was like, football tradition, and that includes such important things as the uniforms, the stadium, the fight song, the fan base, things like that. And what prompted me to think this was as I was watching the team that is number 1 on my list, Tennessee, play yesterday.
Okay.
Between cool orange uniforms and Rocky Top and the tradition there.
Smokey the Dog.
Yeah, I think you could do a lot worse than playing at University of Tennessee.
Oh, you could absolutely do a lot worse. Yeah. Tennessee didn't make my list, but I have there's no qualms there. It's a big program that plays in a big conference. You're going to be in a lot of big games. You're going to be on TV. And yeah, what's funny is they might not end up paying you the NIL money because they didn't want to pay their quarterback, which is why he went to UCLA.
True.
That's a fair pick, though. My number 4, I wrote this, had to pick one solely based on weather and the fans. So I chose Miami of Florida, a team that's going to be on TV. You're playing with some of the best athletes in Florida. You can't beat the weather and the environment.
Yeah, and if depending on your position, you're going to be in the Heisman conversation.
I went into this thinking I'm a running back because that's where my head is, but so probably not. But I think playing in Miami, it's not what it was in the 80s, but it's still you have an alumni base that I could just imagine Ray Lewis and Ed Reed coming back to a game, and that would be cool to see.
Yeah, and Miami did not make my list, but I can tell you my number 4 or number 2 or whichever seems a little counterintuitive, but it's always the town, like as a college town, has always seemed like a really cool place. They've had success sort of intermittently, but not in the last few years. Stanford.
Well, I mean,
the Harvard of the West.
Now you're just trying to get a cool degree while you're there.
Yeah, I want to make use of my 4 years. But plus, I mean, Palo Alto just seems like a really cool place to live.
I could see that. You're not. If you're a 5-star blue chip guy heading out to Stanford, now I'm curious because I have to see.
I could go the Andrew Luck route.
Stanford football recruiting class. This is all time. I don't want all time. They have a 4-star kid who was the number 1 kid in Indiana. John Anthony Hall. Yeah, you're looking at a lot of 3s, so you would definitely put them on the map.
Yeah, I would want them to build something around me.
They have a kid named Josh Williams from the Haverford School from Haverford, Pennsylvania. The kid from Cannonsburg, PA, that's out near Pittsburgh. Mickey Vaccarello.
I don't know the name.
I don't know any of these people, but okay.
Future
teammate of Andrew.
Tim Shorts.
So my number 3 is going to be similar to Stanford in that they've kind of fallen off in terms of overall record, but I like to think where they're capable of going based on the coaching staff. I've seen videos of this guy's post-game, pre-game practice because he's prime time. I would pick Colorado because Deion Sanders, you can't deny he actually cares about his kids, and he cares about, at least on camera, he cares about some of the important stuff. He's telling them, get to class, treat people with respect, don't be a student, essentially. So I think I would have to be like Juwan Howard, recruiting people to come with me if I wanted to win. But it's not like he hasn't had guys like Travis Hunter at Colorado in recent history. So he's got a Heisman Trophy winner within a calendar year. So Colorado's my 3.
And you're right. Deion does seem, like you said, we don't know what happens behind the scenes, but he does seem like a good players coach and like a good, almost like a surrogate father to his players. Let me consult my list.
Get the PP&L chart out.
So I've long thought that it would be cool to live in the Pacific Northwest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Out in the trees.
The rain?
I'm a gloomy guy. Why not? So I think I would fit in well at Oregon.
I considered Oregon just for the merchandise. The weather got me, though.
Yeah, well, with my last 2, I get better weather. But,
okay. My number 1, and weather-wise, would be like, what are you talking about? No, Oregon, big-time conference now. You're going to be it's as far as West Coast teams go, I think Oregon gets paid attention to a lot. I think because of their partnership and their deal with Nike and all the weird kind of stuff they wear.
But I mean, even beyond that, they're, typically in the national conversation. A lot of people, myself included, thought they might win it all last year until, they didn't.
Until they didn't.
But, they're good again this year. They recruit well.
They do. They absolutely.
I'm assuming I'm a quarterback in this scenario, so a good history of strong quarterback play.
From Joey Harrington to Marcus Mariota to Tim. There you go.
To Dylan Gabriel, he had a nice season last year.
He did, and he's competing at Cleveland. So I don't begrudge you that. That's a solid pick. So in that thought, in that vein, if you will, I looked at, where can I go to try to get to the next level? I'm going to make some money as an NIL player, but I also think, where's a school that's going to put me in a good position to play at the next level? And for me, I want to go play for quite possibly the best football coach in the country. I'm going to go play at Georgia.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Well, so we would have had very split allegiances yesterday with me at Tennessee and you at Georgia.
Yeah, that's I didn't think about that, but we could meet at midfield and say, "Hey, how you doing?" You can play quarterback. I play running back. We don't see each other on the field at that point. So,
And then after you beat me in overtime, you could talk your junk.
haha, we got you because I scored as the running back.
So this is going to sound odd coming from a Michigan fan, but
So's mine.
Notre Dame.
Hey, look, that was my number one. For some of this, when you started talking about history and fight songs and uniform, like I thought, wow, you're gonna put Notre Dame down there when you went to Tennessee. No, man. Like Notre Dame to me, they're the New York Yankees of college football. You either love them or you hate them, and being a part of that was intriguing to me as a Yankee fan. So yeah,
and like that, I feel like just the same way that baseball is more interesting when the Yankees are good and in the national conversation, and people are either praising or loathing them. I think college football is better when Notre Dame is good, like they have been the last couple of years.
and where my thought was with rabid fan bases like Penn State, Notre Dame's fan base is just as intense, and going to South Bend on a Saturday night, that's a tough place to play. But again, I mean, weather-wise, you have to learn how to be a football player in the cold. I had, let me see, Colorado's cold. So really, Georgia, they play inside in Miami because it's Miami. Most of my teams are outside in the elements.
Yeah. So
who'd you miss? I think you had one more coming.
I have one more coming, and now we'll get some warm weather because USC.
Oh, you okay? That's fair.
They tick every box. Cool uniforms, nice weather, fight song, tradition, pipeline to the NFL. There's booster money there.
I think the booster money. I don't know what Southern Cal is pulling in, but just being down in like Los Angeles, that area, you would think that it's significant. They need you to get into the upper tier of the Big Ten. They're kind of like those mid-carders right now. But if they're a quarterback away, then you're bringing them back to glory. Good deal.
Yeah, I could be their liner.
Or they're Carson Palmer, or I can't think of
Mark
any other.
Sanchez.
Yeah, well, that's. I don't know if you want to be Mark Sanchez, but good deal, good list.
Caleb Williams.
We'll see if we can get Caleb Williams going tonight or today. Your favorite part of the day? You said you have some trivia this week, so I have one list for you, but you said you had a couple lists.
I have two lists for you.
Two. Oh boy, this is gonna get rough. So
I'll start with the one that I think you'll do better at.
Okay.
Aaron Judge has moved up among top 10 all-time home run hitters in Yankees history.
He just passed Yogi Berra.
What's that?
He just passed Yogi Berra.
He's fourth now.
Yeah.
And you've already mentioned Yogi Berra. Can you name the other 8 members of the top 10 home runs hit only as a Yankee in franchise history?
So I think he's still behind Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, and he just passed Joe DiMaggio.
Yes.
So Mantle, DiMaggio. I saw when he passed Berra. Judge is there.
Ruth had 659 as a Yankee. Mantle had all 536 of his. DiMaggio had all 361 of his.
Yeah.
And then Berra was 358.
Okay. So how many are we looking for now?
You still need. I don't think you said number 3. You said Ruth and Mantle, and then you went to DiMaggio and Berra. So you need number 3, number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10.
Okay. I don't think he's number 3, but is A-Rod on the list?
A-Rod is number 7 with 351.
Okay. I don't think Reggie played there long enough. He only played there 5 years.
Yeah, Reggie is not on the list.
Yeah. Who the heck am I missing that would have played there long enough to be number 3?
If it helps, all of his home runs came with the Yankees.
That's what I would imagine. This is going to be like the first week we did this one, and Michigan defensive lineman. Oh, Glenn Steele.
You'll definitely kick yourself if you don't get number 3.
Can't be Mattingly. Is it Mattingly?
It's not Mattingly.
Is he on the list? Top 10 though.
No.
Let's go Robbie Cano.
That's a great guess, but no. I'll tell you, number 3 hit 493 home runs as a Yankee. Number 8 hit 287. Number 9 hit 275. Number 10 hit 260.
See, the thing is, during those 90s runs, they didn't have a lot of power. They won the 98 World Series, and Tino Martinez led the team with 25. So, like, I think go Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield did not make the list. I don't think he was there long enough.
Yeah. Let me go peek my head over here. Some of these retired numbers. I got mad. Oh, Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig is number 3 with 493.
Gosh, what was I thinking? Yeah, that hurts. It shouldn't have taken that long. Look around the room here. I got a lot of Jeter, but Jeter wasn't a power guy. Neither was Bernie. Neither was Paul O'Neill wasn't there long enough either. So, so who am I missing?
You're missing number 8, number 9, and number 10.
8, 9, and 10.
Neither one got to 300 home runs with the Yankees.
These recent guys?
Yes, in our lifetimes.
Let's start hammering out names. Jason Giambi.
No.
Tino Martinez.
No.
Jorge Posada.
Jorge Posada is 9th with 275.
Shocking. Paul O'Neill.
No.
Gary Sheffield.
A great guess, but no.
I'll say Tino Martinez.
No, you said Tino.
I said it. I don't think it could have been Tino. All right, I give. Who are the other 2?
Number 8 is Bernie Williams with 287. Number 10 is Derek Jeter with 260.
Never would have put. Jeter played there so long that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the list you don't think I'm going to do so well on?
Okay, so earlier this week, as you mentioned, Kyle Schwarber hit 50 home runs for the first time in his career.
51 today.
Yes. He is the 34th player with a 50 home run season to his credit. How many of the other 33 can you name?
Oh, I'm not going to name 33 people. Holy cow. Let's get the easy ones out of the way. Bonds.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Sosa.
Yes.
A-Rod.
Yes.
Now I'm going to start. Now we're going to start like cherry picking. Can we think of power hitters back in the day? Hank. No, I think Hank Aaron hit 50.
He never hit 50.
No. Did Palmeiro?
No.
Did I say A-Rod?
You did.
Okay. Let's go with Jeff Bagwell.
No to Bagwell.
Brady Anderson.
Brady Anderson is a yes. Brady Anderson, 90210.
The 1 year in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Oh.
like the poster boy for like the steroid season.
Did I say Ruth?
You did not.
Ruth. Maris.
Yes.
Mantle.
Yes.
How many do I have? Do I have 10 yet?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, press on we go.
I will say there are a couple guys who have already been mentioned as current players who have either done it or might do it this year.
Aaron Judge.
Yes.
Cal Raleigh.
Yes.
And so there's 4. There's Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, and that other guy.
That tall drink of water in Los Angeles.
Ohtani. Yeah, he went 50-50 last year. Speaking of Los Angeles, I don't think Freeman did.
Freddie Freeman has not done it.
LA doesn't have a history of a lot of power hitters. How about Mike Trout? Did he ever hit 50?
No.
Did Vladimir Guerrero?
No.
Yeah.
I will say the bulk of these guys are in our lifetimes, believe it or not.
I would imagine. Am I at 9 or 10?
You are, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay. I mean, I don't feel bad about that. Stanton.
Yes.
Not with New York though.
No, he did it with the Marlins.
Griffey. Did Griffey do it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of like the list of. He's like in the top 10 all time.
Would you like some hints, or would you like me to give you some names?
Well, how about some hints first?
There's another New York player on here who's done it within like the last 10 years, but not a Yankee.
Not Soto.
Nope.
I'm stuck on David Wright, and
It's not David Wright.
there's no way it's David Wright.
For this question, he's David wrong.
Who else do the Mets have? They have that shortstop who's good. He's not a big power guy.
Yeah, it's not Lindor. It's a guy who there was a question in the offseason if they would re-sign him.
Alonso?
Pete Alonso.
Hey, about that. I knew it all along.
There's a player who did it for Atlanta fairly recently.
Atlanta. Acuna?
Not Acuna.
He was a big stolen base guy.
But he's a teammate of Acuna's. He did it within the last 5 years.
For some reason, whenever I think of you and Atlanta, I think of Terry Pendleton. I'm not sure he has 50 home runs in his career.
You might not get this one, so I'll just tell you it's Matt Olson.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't getting Matt Olson. Oh, my goodness. I remember Mark Teixeira being a Brave. I don't think he has a 50 home run season.
He never did.
Yeah.
The next guy here.
I like Teixeira.
The next guy here had a very, very short window as a slugger for Baltimore.
Adam Jones?
I don't know if you'll get this one. It's Chris Davis.
Oh, dude, no, Chris Davis, the master of the strikeout.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he has more strikeouts than I've eaten meatballs. That's a lot.
The next guy played for the Blue Jays, and maybe these days is most famous for a picture where he's getting punched in the face.
Robin Ventura? No.
No.
Oh, gosh.
An immaculately groomed beard.
What? It's not George Bell. Why am I thinking of George Bell?
No.
Help me out.
Jose Bautista.
Oh, dude, he follows me on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But
I think more people now know him from when Odor.
yeah,
Business.
that's
The next two are a father and son duo.
Oh, not Ken Griffey Sr.
No.
Oh, father.
One of them did play for the Yankees, though.
Is it Cecil?
Cecil
And Prince.
and Prince.
They both had fit. Oh, that's so cool. I probably knew that at one point in my life.
One of them was a former MVP for the Phillies.
Scott, no. Oh, Howard?
Yep. Yeah, he's the franchise leader. He's who Schwarber's going after.
What's his number?
I believe he hit 58.
That's a lot.
The next one was a big nemesis of the Yankees, particularly in 2004.
Ortiz?
Ortiz.
Okay.
The next one, if Griffey's not the greatest defensive center fielder of my lifetime, it's this guy.
Jim Edmonds?
No, that's a good guess. National League guy, primarily with Atlanta.
Atlanta center fielder.
Someone who I believe should be in the Hall of Fame. Switch hitter.
No, Chipper Jones was the third baseman.
You got the last name right.
Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones.
Okay. No, yeah. You remember we talked about him in the Hall of Fame. I agree with you.
The next guy was also a Philly. The next guy was also a Philly, very underrated slugger, kind of like the Harmon Killebrew of our generation. Just big country strong guy.
With the Phillies?
Yes. Also played in Cleveland.
Tommy?
Yeah, it's Jim Tomey.
Why did I couldn't picture him with the Phillies? I ran through like Manny Ramirez and Kenny Lofton, and I didn't think they were. Yeah, I remember Tommy as an Indian. Okay.
The next two I'll just give you: Luis Gonzalez and Greg Vaughn.
Greg Vaughn? Was he a Padre?
He did it for the Padres.
Oh yeah, wow. At least I knew who he played for. I wasn't pulling out Greg Vaughn.
Former teammate in Cleveland of Jim Tomey's. He also did it in the 90s.
Was it Manny?
It was not Manny. Mean dude. Wouldn't want to fight him.
Albert Bell?
It was Albert Bell.
Albert Bell. He hit 50 home runs.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And now we're going to before our lifetimes. So I remember it was a big deal when Cecil Fielder did it in 91 because this was the last guy to do it before Cecil Fielder. He did it for the Reds in 77.
No, not Joe Carter. Joe Morgan? No. Help me out.
It's George Foster.
Rubberface.
Rubberface.
No, I wasn't getting that.
This is one of the few guys in baseball history with 600 career home runs.
Willie Mays? No.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays. He had 50. Good for him.
This guy played for the Pirates and had a long career announcing Mets games for WWOR in North Jersey.
I got nothing.
Ralph Kiner.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Ralph Kiner.
The next one I'll give you is Johnny Mize.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Actually, I'll just give you the last few.
Yeah.
Hank Greenberg did it for the Tigers in the 30s.
Oh, cool.
Jimmy Fox did it.
Okay.
And Hack Wilson did it for the
Oh,
Cubs.
that's just a list of 36, huh?
That's 34 players in baseball history with a 50 home run season.
Okay, and I think I got like a quarter of them on my own, so
yeah, I'd say you got like 12 or 13 on your own.
I don't feel too bad. So your Mr. Smarty Pants list has nothing to do with sports, unfortunately. Yesterday, Jen went to see The Sound of Music on the big screen, and her mom told me that it was the longest running movie in theaters until someone else broke the record. So I looked it up, and nothing else broke the record. A couple of movies came close. The Sound of Music is the longest running movie in theaters at 147 weeks, according to Collider.com. So, I mean, I looked it up there. How many of the other 14 do you think you can get?
Okay.
So most consecutive weeks in theaters.
How about Gone with the Wind?
This is ridiculous, by the way. Gone with the Wind was ranked number 4th with 107 straight weeks.
How about Star Wars?
Star Wars, the original Star Wars, 135 weeks. It is number 2.
E.T.
E.T. comes in at number 6, 81 straight weeks. This is more than a year. It's like
Titanic.
Titanic comes in at number 12, just over a year, with 54 weeks.
So it's going to have to be older movies, nothing R-rated.
I don't know the ratings on these.
How about something? How about Mary Poppins?
There is an R-rated movie on the list. Mary Poppins is not. Mary Poppins is neither R-rated nor on the list.
How about Jaws?
Jaws is on the list. It is ranked 11th, 55 straight weeks.
How about Empire Strikes Back?
Not on the list.
Are there any sequels on the list?
No.
Okay.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I know have sequels. One of them might. I'm not sure.
How about
one of the sequels hasn't come out yet, though, to my knowledge.
How about Infinity War?
No.
Are any Marvel?
No.
Okay.
So the lowest number, again, this is according to Collider, so whatever. The lowest number of consecutive weeks is 49.
How about the original Batman, like the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman?
No, not on the list.
How about Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Nope.
How about the original Christopher Reeve Superman?
Nope. Yeah, this is so now like I don't know enough about these movies to give you like hints without telling you what it is either. So you tell me when you want me to start trying.
Give me a year the movie was released if you have it.
Let's see here. So the movie that ranks 15th is from 1992.
Aladdin.
This is a movie that you have talked about on a previous show a long, long time ago when one of the actors passed away.
It's not Unforgiven. Unforgiven wasn't a box office movie.
Unforgiven is listed as 49 straight weeks showing in theaters.
Wow.
So
Surprising.
that's 15. So now the 14th rated movie comes in 1 week longer. It is 50 weeks in theaters. It is from 2002.
Lord of the Rings.
Nope. This one does have a sequel.
Who's in it?
You're going to make me say this? Nia Vardalos.
Oh, My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
There you go. Okay, I was looking at her character name, Tulip Portalucas. I'm like, I don't know how to say that. But My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 is coming out, or has come out. So that is 14th on the list.
Okay.
Number 13 on the list, coming in at 54 straight weeks, made a ton of money in 2009.
Avatar.
Now number 10 at 55 weeks. I got to scroll down here past Titanic, past Jaws. So this was in 2000, and I had no desire to see it. I still have no desire to see it. Not my style. It is very popular on Rotten Tomatoes.
Gladiator.
No. Okay, so Gladiator is on the list. So Gladiator is number 5.
Okay.
80 straight weeks. This is an Academy Award winner.
For Best Picture.
No. But it won an Academy Award.
Okay.
And-
Who's in it?
Nobody I know. Michelle Yeoh? Yeo?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There we go. 55 straight weeks there.
Huh.
Number 9 is, we have to go back to the early 80s, 1984. And this one is the main star. It's probably one of his first big roles.
Gremlins.
Not Gremlins.
Amadeus.
No, not Amadeus.
84.
This one is also rated R.
Risky Business.
This has a sequel. Actually, this has several sequels. One that just came out recently.
Who's in it?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop is number 9. The next one, number 8 on the list, weeks showing in theaters, 78. And this one is from 1985.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. The next one might quite possibly be my sister's favorite movie. And it is from 1993.
The Fugitive.
No, not The Fugitive.
The Lion King.
Not The Lion King. Great music in this one.
From 93. Who's in it?
Let's see here. Wayne Knight, Samuel L. Jackson.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, there you go. And you're missing one now. You are missing the number 3 rated movie. And this is the one I had to check the rating because I didn't know for a fact. This one is rated R, and it's from 1975. Quite possibly the biggest cult movie of all time.
Oh, Rocky Horror.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show comes in at 118 weeks.
Some surprises. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I mean, that must have maybe not so much in America, but maybe I don't know if that what country. I think it was made in China.
Now again, this is from the Collider, and I just saw this post or like the comment underneath. Somebody, some named Linus says, with all due respect, the Rocky Horror Picture Show has never left the theaters since April 1st, 1976. Second place isn't even close. You should update the article. So my mother-in-law actually thought, she told me that the Sound of Music was actually in theaters for 4 straight years. And what's funny is if you look it up, the Collider, that website, actually reinforces that. It says that it's been 4 years. So their numbers are kind of slightly off, but for what I was doing here, it was good enough for government work.
That was an interesting list, though.
I figured if I could find something non-sportsy for you to really attack your brain. Last segment, at least in my head, unless you want to gibber about other stuff, build your squad. We're going to do a little different today.
Okay.
If I can get, I have to get the piece of paper up because I'm going to share my screen here in a second. Oh my heavens! I had it on my script, and I closed my script because I'm going to share screens. So, give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Green Bay is neither green nor bay. Discuss.
Is it not a bay? Are they on a lake?
I don't know. Okay, here we go. Let's hit the share button if I can find it. I want to share this. Aha. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
All right, we're gonna draft baseball players.
Okay.
So you have to draft an infielder, an outfielder, a pitcher, and then 2 of anything.
Okay.
I called it flex. So I have infield, outfield, pitcher, flex.
Okay.
So we'll let you spin first.
And same rules, like all they had to ever do was play even a little for this team, and I get their entire career.
Yeah, we'll give you that.
Okay.
So you are going to start off with the Detroit Tigers.
I'll take Ty Cobb.
You putting him at your flex or out in the? Is he an infielder, outfielder? I'm a terrible person.
An outfielder, but I'll put him at flex.
I actually wrote down outfield, but you're going to put him at your flex. Okay.
Yeah.
And we got closed, so he's off the board. Pittsburgh Pirates. I'll take a little guy named Barry Bonds.
Strong pick.
I almost took Sid Bream. Bonds is in my outfield. Oh, this is so awesome. Just the Athletics. Not the Oakland Athletics, not the Sacramento
The
Athletics.
Sacramento Athletics.
Just the Athletics.
I'll take McGuire.
You take McGuire. Infield or flex?
Flex.
Okay. I'm not anticipating these guys playing defense, but yeah, I mean, if he would not be a defensive infielder for sure. All right, who do I have? I thought I was going to get the Marlins. For the Dodgers, I will take as my pitcher Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, I was thinking him or Kershaw.
I think you can still put pitchers at your flex, but you can move your guys around if you get a pitcher you want. I'll let you move McGuire or Cobb.
Okay.
Oh, this is fun. You have an infield spot open for Mike Pagliarulo.
Right. And I'd hate to take Rick Cerrone from you, but I'll take Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. And so now this is a legitimate question: outfield or pitcher?
I'll put him in the outfield
because he was a spectacular pitcher as well. Okay, so you're missing. You have an open spot for infield and pitcher.
Yes,
but you can also move
McGuire
around if you need to. All right, so Spinaroonie. I have infield and flex open. Ooh, Cincinnati Reds infield. Let's put Pete Rose in the infield. So now I have two flexes. I can just do what I want. That's nice. Your open spots are infield, pitcher, but again, you can move people around. San Francisco Giants. Infield pitcher, or you're going to move McGuire to the infield?
I'll move McGuire to the infield, and I'll flex Willie Mays.
That's where I figured you were going. That's a good pick. All right. So I have basically the two best players I can think of. Oh, yeah, of course. You're going to go to the Phillies.
What do you have available?
Anything. I have two flexes open. So, I mean,
I think it's a no-brainer.
I could go a lot of ways. I mean, I'm going to take Michael Jack Schmidt.
Yeah, that's
the
pick.
Steve Carlton with Sandy Koufax would be nice.
Two lefties.
The Yankees had a whole rotation of lefties one year. You need a pitcher from the Miami Marlins. You have good choices, believe it or not. Please don't take Carl Pavano.
I'm trying to think of someone who had like a short stint there. Like who's someone who pitched there, like maybe toward the end of their career? Because right now the name that comes to mind is Kevin Brown.
I have to believe you that he was a Marlin. I don't know.
Kevin Brown?
Yeah.
He was on the 97 Marlins.
Was he? Okay. Oh, yeah, he was. Okay.
I'll take Kevin Brown.
Okay. I was actually thinking more along the lines of the 2003 Marlins and Josh Beckett.
Yeah. I think they're comparable.
And I need someone who played for the Washington Nationals.
That includes the Expos all.
Can I take Walter Johnson? Is that cool?
Well, so they were the Washington Senators.
And they became the Twins.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can take an Expo or an
National. I can take an Expo.
And what do you need?
Anything. A flex player. So, I mean...
You could take Pedro.
I actually just wrote down Pedro. So we're going to take Pedro Martinez. And that's I don't know if that's the best way to draft baseball players or build your squad for baseball players, but you have a team with Mark McGuire, Babe Ruth, Kevin Brown, Ty Cobb, and Willie Mays. And I have a team with Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, Sandy Koufax, Mike Schmidt, and Pedro Martinez.
You know, Kevin Brown, I think you got me too, because Kevin Brown.
I think I would have got you even with Josh Beckett or Dontrell Willis. So let me go back into, now that I can actually start Googling, let's look at Miami Marlins baseball reference, all-time team history here. The all-time top 24 players. Josh Johnson. He had a good run there. Career WAR of 24.
Didn't Dwight Gooden play for briefly for the Marlins?
Played for the Mets, the Yankees, the Cleveland, at the time, Indians, Houston, Tampa Bay, and then he finished up in New York with the Yankees.
I must have been thinking of his time with Tampa.
So he was in Florida. What if I just type in best pitchers all-time Marlins? Yeah, the names I'm getting. Kevin Brown makes the list, but Al Leiter, Josh Beckett, AJ Burnett, Dontrell Willis, Carl Pavone, and some guy. Heath Bell. So yeah, I guess if you wanted to go bullpen, you could have taken Heath Bell or Andrew Miller. You could have gone with Charlie Huff.
Yeah.
Mark Burley. Rob Nen. I think Rob Nen might have been the best bullpen guy on this list. Some of these guys I'd never heard of, like Tony Saunders and David Phelps.
Yeah, not a lot of great pitchers in Marlins history.
Yeah, when you pull that, that's a toughie. But there you go. It's a good little build your squad thing. So it's about 12:21. NFL's coming up in 40 minutes or so. What game's local in your area?
The 1 o'clock is Giants Cowboys, I believe. And then I'm probably getting the Steelers Seahawks is the 1 o'clock on CBS. If not, I'll get the Bills and Jets.
I'll probably get Pittsburgh here. I haven't turned on the TV to look. I'll probably be sitting here at the computer lesson planning and building out my week, though. But this week, significantly different from last week near the end of the show. And if you remember, minute and 38 seconds broke a record.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling an urgent need as well.
I got you. Well, I'll let you go. If you break 30 seconds, it's good for you.
Yes.
But we'll track your Mr. Smarty Pants. Tim's best. What was your best bet of the week again?
I have the Rams beating the Titans.
That was the big one. So we'll see how you do on that. The rest of you guys out there, I hope you guys hit your NFL picks on Saturday or on Sunday. If you're watching this during the week, we'll see you again next time with some of the best and weirdest news from the world of soup and meatballs, man. So
I'm making that pot of pasta fazool this week.
You said it was coming yesterday.
Yeah, and then I got lazy.
Well, when you make it, let me know, and I'll be jealous from miles away.
I'll send pictures.